The last book on this list is one of the most disturbing things I've read in a very long time. 3 books that I cannot stop thinking about, and yet nobody in my life seems to have read them. Let's go. The first book on this list is The Bright Sword by Lev Grossman. Now, if this name seems passingly familiar to you and you don't know why, it's probably because you're familiar with his first work, The Magicians, which is a trilogy that people like to compare to Harry Potter meets Narnia but for college students. And while that is technically true, that's also kind of like saying a golden retriever puppy and a direwolf are the same because, well, they're both dog-shaped. You see, both Harry Potter and the Chronicles of Narnia are about wonderment and imagination and finding goodness in the world, while The Magicians, on the other hand, is a deeply cynical, misanthropic series of books where I'm pretty sure you're supposed to hate all the main characters. I did love it, though. It was so good. Anyway, that guy wrote a second book, The Bright Sword. Now, this takes place in King Arthur's court just after King Arthur has vanished. It really focuses on some of his lesser-known knights. It's really about their struggle as they try to figure out what to do in the absence of their fearless leader, and they go on one final quest. I feel like I can't actually lie to you guys. I did technically listen to this one with my roommate, who is also my husband, on a road trip last year, and while I just thought it was pretty good, he loved it. This is probably because he is way more familiar with King Arthur than I am. 8 out of 10. Book 2. But first a question. How long, genuinely, do you think that you could survive stranded alone on an island with nothing but a handful of your personal belongings? And these are not belongings that are like specifically geared towards survival. I give myself like a 20% chance of surviving the year. Honestly, like I would try my best, but I would probably die of starvation pretty quickly and or just doing some grievous bodily harm to myself by accident. Just being realistic. Now make yourself a 20-year-old French noblewoman in the 1530s, meaning you have no training in anything other than needlework and like memorizing a handful of Bible passages. That's it. Also, this island is not some Caribbean castaway warm. This is in the Gulf of St. Lawrence. And if you have no idea where that is, because I didn't before I read this book, it is here. So this is the Gulf of St. Lawrence, and oh look, is that Canada? And it turns out we're north of Maine. This book is Isola by Allegra Goodman, and the thing that really just blows my mind about this is based on a true story. The book is phenomenal. 9 out of 10. Book 3, She's Always Hungry by Eliza Clark. Now this is a series of short stories all revolving around a theme of, you guessed it, hunger. Please, for the love of all that is good and holy, read the trigger warnings on this. I am not a fan of body horror, and yet, I was persuaded by the siren song of good writing, of a well-turned phrase. And let me tell you, the writing is in fact excellent. The body horror, grotesque, off-putting. But here's the thing, while some of the stories were just, I could always see the reason why she included the details that she included. Some of the stories definitely are better than others, but there's a really good mix of like literary fiction, horror, sci-fi. And with the rise of skinny talk, which is horrifying, I'm sure, to every millennial woman out there, I cannot